viewers of Hope TV Newswatch. Thank you for joining us for the latest news. My name is Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's begin with our top story tonight. Now, Migori Governor Okoth Obado has been released on an 8.7 million shilling cash bail or 20 million shilling bond. Chief Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi in his bail ruling ordered that Obado be barred from accessing Migori County until the case is concluded, adding that the governor will be escorted to pick personal belongings. The Chief Magistrate also ordered police to give all the identification card numbers of the accused in the case to the Immigration Department, who will block their departure from Kenya. Meanwhile, Obado, his children and other co-accused have raised a total of 45 million shillings to secure their release on bail. Dickens Luvanda has the report.
After spending 4 nights in police custody over graft allegations, Migori County Governor Zachary Okoth Obado has finally been released by the Anti-Corruption Court in Nairobi. Obado, alongside his 4 children and 6 others, were on Monday morning granted bail and were released after Chief Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi ruled that their liberty be upheld, as each case must be considered on its own merit.
The investigating officer shall provide all the names and identity numbers of all the accused in this case, whether with or without the passports, to the Director of Immigration, who is hereby ordered to block the exit from the country by any of the accused persons unless authorized by this court.
Obado, who has been barred from accessing Migori County offices until the case is concluded, has been released on an 8.7 million shillings cash bail or 20 million shillings bond, with his 10 co-accused being released on a various bail and bond terms of between 2 million shillings and 8.2 million shillings, besides being barred from accessing county government offices.
The second accused, Dan Ochola Okoth, will pay a cash bail of Kenya shillings 2,500,000, in the alternative a bond of 5 million shillings plus a surety of like amount. The third accused, Scarlett Susan Okoth, will pay a cash bail of Kenya shillings 3 million, in the alternative a bond of Kenya shillings 6 million plus a surety of like amount. The fourth accused, Gary Zachary Okoth, will pay a cash bail of Kenya shillings 2 million shillings, in the alternative a bond of Kenya shillings 4 million plus a surety of like amount. The fifth accused, Evelyn Adhiambo Zachary, will pay a cash bail of Kenya shillings 2 million.
The accused, Obado's children Dan Okoth, Scarlett Okoth, Jerry Okoth, Evelyn Okoth, and his alleged family friend Jared Kagwa Odoyo and Kagwa's mother Penaina Auma had been arraigned on Thursday to answer charges of graft over a loss of 73.4 million shillings county government funds, with each of the accused persons denying all the charges, which totaled to 28 counts.
True or not true, but Roba Ochanda Otieno.
They all denied that between October 2019-2014 and October 18, 2016, within Migori County, they jointly conspired to commit an economic crime, which was the unlawful acquisition of public funds. Obado is accused of benefiting indirectly from the millions of shillings paid to his children. Even though the prosecution led by Victor Mule objected to the release of Obado and his co-accused on cash bail, saying that they were likely to abscond court, defense lawyer Kyoko Kilikumi argued that the offenses are available and that there is no single averment that the accused will abscond court. During his ruling on Monday, Chief Magistrate Mugambi directed that Obado, just like Samburu Governor Moses Leon Kulala, Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko, and former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu, be barred from accessing the Migori County office, and that he should pick his personal belongings under police escort.
The state and public officers charged in this case, including the first accused, shall liaise with the investigating officer to be escorted to pick their personal staff, if any, from Migori County offices. Thereafter, there shall be no access to Migori County offices by any of the accused persons in this case. This order is intended to preserve the integrity of the trial process.
All the accused persons were also warned against interfering with state witnesses. Dickens Luvanda, Hope TV Newswatch.
Meanwhile, Malindi Member of Parliament Aisha Juma, who is facing corruption charges, has been released on a 2 million cash bail or an alternative of 5 million shillings bond. Appearing before Mombasa Chief Magistrate Edna Nyaloti earlier today, The lawmaker denied all the 6 counts, including acquiring proceeds of crime, money laundering, conflict of interest and fraud. The vocal member of parliament has, however, blamed her political rivals for witch hunt, saying she will not be moved. Mark Kimondo has the report.
It's just outside the Mombasa court, with Malindi Member of Parliament Aisha Jumwa supporters breaking into songs and dances after the legislator was released on a cash bail of 2 million shillings and an alternative of 5 million shillings bond following the 57.7 million shillings graft case. Chief Magistrate Edna Nyaloti said the court could not deny the MP bond as she was not on a flight risk and the prosecution had not proven she is.
And as is natural with all politicians, she could be harboring political ambitions for higher political office and is not a flight risk. However, the court will not grant the first accused person a free bond as requested by the defense team. The first accused person may be released on bond of Kenya shillings 5 million shillings with one surety of a similar amount, or in the alternative, cash bail of Kenya shillings 2 million.
However, according to Aisha Jumwa, these are just bad political witch hunts meant to malign her political career, claiming that she will not bow.
Nataka niwaambie ya kwamba yale yote ambayo yanafanyika, kila mtu anajua ni sababu ya my political stand, my political position ambayo mimi nimechukua katika nchi hii. And let me tell you, kama mnataka kunisukuma because of that, tafuteni mtu mwingine. Aisha will remain the same, the Iron Lady, defiant.
The legislator who spoke after the court session confirmed that she's ready for political battles against her opponents who are trying to tamper with her leadership as the MP of Malindi constituency.
Na mimi kwa upande wa kisiasa, so long as wanaifanya hii kesi ama hizi kesi zote ambazo wananisukumia ni za kisiasa, I'm also a politician. Yes. We are in the same field. Yes. Tutapigana kisiasa mpaka mwisho tuone nani atasarenda.
Jumwa's lawyer said the claims that the MP had embezzled 57.7 million public funds was an attempt to deny the vocal leader bond and taint her political future.
Tumeelezea mahakama ukweli kwamba hili dhana ya kwamba kuna milioni 57 ni story ambazo zilikuwa zimewekwa ili mheshimiwa anyimwe cash bail ama ile cash bail yake yende juu.
The legislator surrendered herself to the Port Police Station in Mombasa on Sunday, following a directive issued by the Mombasa Court Chief Magistrate Edna Nyaloti on Friday when she failed to appear in court as expected. The MP was then taken to Mombasa Court on Monday after a thorough grilling by police officers at Port Police Station.
Having a result to number 7, Robert Katana.
The Mombasa Court reviewed the bond terms for the other 6 co-accused persons arraigned before the court on Friday last week. The 6 CDF officers, who include NGCDF manager Wacho Omar Abdallah, Sophia Said, Bernard Kai, Government Engineer Kennedy Otieno Onyango, Margaret Faith Kalume and Robert Katana, had their bond reduced from 5 million shillings to 2 million shillings, as well as the cash bail from 2 million shillings to 500,000 shillings. Nyaloti further cleared that the terms will be further reviewed downwards if the accused fail to raise the bond. The matter will be mentioned again on September 21st this year. Mark Kimondo, Newswatch.
On to COVID-19 situation. The country has recorded 144 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, even as the World Health Organization has said the reduction of cases in the last few weeks may not show the real picture nationally. This also comes at a time the government has been accused of mismanagement of funds and misreporting on COVID-19 figures. Joseph Maingi has more.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has put an asterisk on the progressive decline in the number of COVID-19 cases in Kenya over the last 3 weeks. WHO, in a statement, has noted that while the drop follows trends for Nairobi and Mombasa counties, it does not clearly show the real picture nationally, since the other counties are still reporting an increase. WHO also questions that during the same period of decline, a decline in the number of laboratory tests has also been noted. The global health body was critical on Kenya's testing strategy, noting that it targets low-risk groups, while some counties' laboratories reported shortage of test kits or specimen collection kits. Today, the country has recorded 144 new cases of COVID-19, raising the country's total tally to 34,201. The new numbers are from the 4,260 samples tested in the last 24 hours, bringing the cumulative test to 454,406. A statement by the Ministry of Health has confirmed that 11 of the new cases were foreigners, while 133 were Kenyans, with the youngest being a 7-year-old child, while the oldest is aged 84 years. Nairobi County continues to lead in the daily positivity rate, having recorded 77 cases in the last 24 hours. Other counties with the new cases include Mombasa with 18, Kiambu recorded 9 cases, with the counties of Kisumu and Kajiado recording 6, as the counties of Machakos, Narok and Turkana recorded 5 each. Nakuru recorded 4, Nandi 2, with the counties of Laikipia, Meru, Siaya, Isiolo, Kilifi, Homa Bay and Trans Nzoia each recording 1 case. At the same time, another 205 patients have recovered from the disease, bringing the total number of recoveries in the country so far to 19,893. A total of 122 of those discharged were from the home-based care program, while the other 83 were discharged from the various health facilities in the country. Meanwhile, the country's fatality has now risen to 577 after 3 more patients succumbed to the virus. Joseph Maingi, Newswatch, Nairobi.
Moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has directed the Ministry of Health to leverage on technology and come up with a transparent mechanism through which all tenders and procurements done by KEMSA are available online for scrutiny. Speaking as he closed the COVID-19 virtual conference that was organized by the Council of Governors on building resilience to deal with the future pandemics, President Kenyatta gave the Health Ministry 30 days to come up with the plans. The president said the move will increase levels of transparency and accountability. Grace Ongoi has this story.
The numbers of COVID-19 in the country have seemingly been seen to be going down. While officiating the COVID-19 virtual conference, the President Uhuru Kenyatta came out to commend the efforts by the Ministry of Health, healthcare workers and Kenyans to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Addressing from the State House in Nairobi, the president is confident that timely and instantaneous implementation of COVID-19 measures is the way forward to help secure gains already made in the fight against the deadly COVID-19 virus.
The good news, though, is that in the middle of this crisis, the curve is beginning to flatten. However, we must not celebrate this happy moment too soon, but rather celebrate it with a great deal of caution.
The president recommends a framework with 3 elements that should act as a blueprint in the fight against COVID-19. According to him, the first step should be analyzing the gains we have made in the first 6 months since COVID-19 hit the country.
If all our models had projected severe scenarios that did not happen, was it because we were forewarned, or was it because of the swift interventions that we put in place? How does our national response compare with others within the region, the continent, and the world?
The president further called for the utilization of knowledge gained from global and national response to COVID-19 in the national rollout of the universal health coverage in the country in what he terms as pre-mortem analysis that will give direction to the attainment of sustainable health for all Kenyans.
Pre-mortem analysis will help us chart the path to sustainable health provisioning for all. Using this model, the conference should therefore give us counsel on how to promote preventative medicine over symptomatic care.
The president further reiterated on the need to shift from tactical response to strategic response. Speaking as he closed the virtual meeting, the president directed the Ministry of Health to leverage on technology and come up with a transparent mechanism through which all tenders and procurement done by KEMSA are available online for scrutiny.
I also hereby direct that the Ministry of Health, within the next 30 days, must come up with a transparent, open method and mechanism through which all tenders and procurement done by KEMSA are available online so that we can see who has been awarded a tender, we can see what is the value of that tender, we can see what was that tender for, we can see as they proceed, how was that tender evaluated, we can see how have people bid, we can see who was finally awarded.
A national conference will also be held to review Kenya's response to the health crisis and develop the country's post-COVID-19 action plan. Grace Wangoi, Hope TV News Watch.
With that report from Grace Wangoi, let's take a short commercial break on News Watch. We'll be back with more. Don't go too far.
Welcome to Rafiki Gardens along Kangondo Road by HopeTvKenya. This is an ideal and affordable piece of investment that is strategically placed within the Nairobi metropolis. Rafiki Gardens is close to key social amenities like schools, banks, and shopping malls. This project comes with ready title deeds, Maram roads, and a marking fence round the property. Get a plot at only 695,000 Kenya shillings cash price. You can also pay a 50% deposit and pay the rest in 6 months installments. Call us today on 0702 8310 83 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Is anyone immune to this virus?
We haven't seen the virus in the world before, which means none of us had been exposed to it.
Women tend to have more UTIs than men.
By the time a man is getting a urinary tract symptom, there is a problem.
With live doctors in studio, you get increased information on how to improve and better your health.
Gladys Nyanchoka is asking what causes nose blockage early in the morning?
Prevention, early intervention, treatment and management of different medical conditions.
Noise in the ear is very, very common. It's known as tinnitus.
There is a condition that we call fibromyalgia.
Thank you for calling in today. What's your question?
I've been having a problem with my toe.
Yeah.
Tune in for Health Check every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV News Watch. Transport Chief Administrative Secretary of CS, Wavinya Ndeti, has warned parents against entering out of court settlements with offenders of gender-based violence. According to Wavinya Ndeti, many parents and guardians have failed to report cases of defilement of their children after agreeing to be paid by the offenders, a move she says will not be tolerated by the government. The CS was speaking when she met hundreds of girls across Mavoko sub-county in an effort to support them towards their education, empowerment and independence so that they can contribute positively to the society.
We were coming to talk to the young girls because we got concerned of the teenage pregnancy, not only in Machakos County, but in the whole country. So we came to talk to the girls as mothers, and we were able also to provide them with some sanitary pads. We also gave them some masks, sanitizers, and this is all in an effort to keep them safe, and then of course also to keep the whole society safe, because if they are safe, the society is safe.
Kama serikali tumekataa na tumesema mtoto ni wa serikali na hakuna mzazi ako suppose kukaa na kuongea na mtu ambaye amerepu mtoto na wasikizane. Huyo mzazi akipatwa atawekwa ndani na huyo mtu awekwe ndani. Watu wajue ni kweli mtoto unamzaa. Ukimzaa, ukimtoa katika hii dunia, anakuwa wa Mungu na wa serikali na wako. Kwa hivyo huwezi kusema mtoto ni wangu, nimeongea na huyo na tumekubaliana mtoto wangu asifanye nini, tusiende kotini. There are chiefs and there are sub chiefs. Na kuna wazee wa vijiji. In every sub location, sub county, hawa ndio wafanyikazi wa serikali. Kitu kama hicho kikifanyika katika village yako, huyo sub chief wa hapo ni jukumu yake kuhakikisha hiyo kesi imefuatiliwa na imefuatiliwa vilivyo mpaka aone mwisho wa hiyo kesi. Umesikia serikali imesema vizuri. Machief na tunawaambia vizuri, kuna machiefs, kuna masub chiefs. Hao watoto wakiingia kwa shida na mnyamazia, hizi shida zitakuja kuangukia nyinyi wenyewe.
The Coast Association for Persons with Disabilities, CPWD, in Mombasa has raised a red flag over teenage pregnancies during the COVID-19 pandemic. CPWD Chief Executive Officer Amisa Zaja has appealed to parents to look after their daughters, especially during this COVID-19 crisis. Zaja spoke when she toured Nur Orphanage Center in Likoni, sub-county of Mombasa.
Don't touch. Don't touch. Tukizungumzia masuala ya teenage pregnancies, mimi napenda sana kuwaomba wazazi. Manake watoto saizi tuko nao, na kama vile tumetembea hapa orphanage, nimezungumza sana na wale wasimamizi hapa ambao ni wa kike. Nimezungumza sana nao kuambia kwamba ni wakati wa kubond. Isiwe ni wakati wa kuwa tuna shida, kwa sababu tunaona kwamba sisi kama wazazi tukikaa na watoto ndani ya nyumba masaa 24 ni kama wanakuwa ni kero kwetu. Kwa hivyo ni wakati wa wazazi kubonde na watoto wao na kuwa karibu na watoto wao na wawajue watoto wao, na pia watoto wawajue wazazi wao vizuri zaidi, na muangalie kwamba katika maisha ni njia gani ambao mtakuja nao ili tuweze kukua pamoja na watoto. Watoto wana changamoto nyingi sana wakati huu. Kwa hivyo wazazi ni lazima wawe very patient na wao, na wawasome na wajue ile matatizo kila mtoto alionayo, na waweze kuwa watawasaidia kuvuka hili daraja la wakati wa COVID, kwamba sisi we are all at home, wazazi wanafanyia kazi majumbani na watoto nao pia wako majumbani, hakuna kuenda shule. Kwa hivyo kwa muda huu ni muda tuutumie kwa kubond, kuweza kuzungumza na watoto wetu na kuweza kuwa karibu na watoto wetu.
Housing and Urban Development Principal Secretary Charles Hinga says the government has so far spent slightly over 2.1 billion shillings on the Kazi Mtaani National Hygiene Program. Hinga said at least 283,000 young people across the country had been engaged in the initiative that began 4 months ago to cushion the youth from the economic effects of coronavirus pandemic. He described the program as a great success, with the number of beneficiaries having grown from 33,000 in the first phase to the current 283,000. He have expressed disappointments that some chiefs and herdsmen were engaging in favoritism and corruption in the recruitment of the youths, and warned them of dire consequences should they be found culpable.
283,000 young people ambao tumeemploy in all over the country. Kilifi hapa county yenyewe iko na watu zaidi ya 6,000. So hilo ni juhudi kubwa sana ambalo tumefanya kwenye huu mradi. Kwa sasa hivi tangu tuanzishe ile phase 1 na hii phase 2 tumeweza kulipa shilingi bilioni 2,147, 2.147 billion. That is money that has gone directly to young people and young families. And I think if there is a program that is having the positive effect, ni hii hapa hivi, kwa sababu one, hiyo pesa wakilipwa hawa vijana wanaispend hapa hivi kwenye local economy. We have applied, we are looking for money, we are engaging donors, we are engaging well-wishers, we are engaging National Treasury to see how can we be able to put up that. You can see the amount of money, because of the sheer number of people all over the country who are working. It's something that is going to eat into the resources that we have. So today, because the resources are finite, we have got to say, if I had 10 more billion today, do I want to go buy gumboots, or do I want to go hire another 300,000 young people? Waelewa. So it is a trade-off, yeah?
HopeTvKenya party leader Moses Wetangula has urged President Uhuru Kenyatta, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and the BBI steering committee to release the BBI report so that Kenyans can go through it. Accompanied by Kiminini MP Chris Wamalwa and his Cherangani counterpart Joshua Kutuni, the leaders wondered why there is a plan to hold a referendum without Kenyans knowing the final proposals in the BBI report. The leaders vowed not to support a referendum which Odinga said must be held before the 2022 general election unless the BBI report is given to the public first.
Release report ya BBI ili Wakenya waweze kusoma, waelewe, ili wa make informed decision on what the referendum is going to be. Sisi kama HopeTvKenya tuliunga mkono BBI. Tulipeleka maoni yetu. Sasa tunangojea kuona the outcome of what we presented to the committee of BBI. And once it is done, if we are going to have a referendum, Mr. President, take and seize the moment and be the man of the hour. Call all leaders together. Let's agree so that we go to a referendum with a consensual question.
Mtoto wa BBI wa handshake atakuwa ni nini? Atakuwa ni BBI. Katiba tuliyoko nayo sasa hivi inapatia mamlaka kabila mbili katika taifa hili. Na mimi nataka kuomba wengi wanaokuwa na sauti tofauti. Unapotengeneza sheria ama katiba, tengeneza katiba ambayo unaweza kumwamini na adui yako. Usitengeneze katiba itakayokufaidi wewe peke yako. Mimi ningependa katiba ambayo makabila zote watajihizi kwamba sisi ni Wakenya. Lakini isikuwe ni katiba ambayo watu wawili ndio watakuwa wanaongoza Kenya hii, makabila makubwa na makabila madogo yatakwenda wapi? Watabaki ombe ama mbego.
Sisi hatuta support BBI kiujinga. We gave our recommendations. Tunataka hiyo report ya BBI itoke mara moja ili tuisome so that we can make a decision. Hatutaenda referendum kiujinga. And we are requesting the committee that was put in place by His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wa release hiyo report ili wananchi waangalie hiyo report so that we make an informed decision. Kwa sababu taxpayers money was used na tunangoja hii report. Tumengoja wakati imeenda, hatujaona hiyo report ikitoka.
The Independence Party Kenya African National Union KANU has started mass recruitment drives in the Mount Kenya region ahead of the 2022 general elections. Speaking in Nyahururu town during the opening of the party's office, party officials from the region led by former Mungike leader Maina Njenga said that the party had started opening offices in every county in the region to enable the party regain its popularity. Njenga called upon the Kenyan youths to join the party, noting that it has already signed a coalition agreement with the Jubilee Party ahead of 2022 general elections.
Sisi tutazunguka mlima wa Kenya. Na mlima wa Kenya hauna upinzani na chama cha KANU. Watu wote walitoka katika chama cha KANU. Unanielewa? Na wale watu wanaenda wakisema wao ni hustler. Sisi ndio hustler kabisa. Ile hustler nation sasa ndio hii sasa. Ndio hii sasa. Ile ingine ni hustler ya wadosi. Kwa hivyo sisi tutaanzia nyumba kwa nyumba. Sasa tuko na digital registration of members. Hii youth for KANU 22 ni ya kumobilize youth all over the Republic of Kenya na members wa KANU kujiandikisha katika hiyo digital registration ili mtu akuwe member wa chama cha KANU.
Ile boma yako watoto wakitoka nje kila mmoja wakiwa wengi unawaita tena, mnatengeneza ile inaitwa mbari. Kwetu tunaita mbai, huku kwenu mnaita mbari. Kwa hivyo sasa KANU imerudi kutengeneza nini? Mbari ya Mkenya. Kwa sababu hata walipotoka hawakuonyesha ule ujasiri na ile mapendo ambao walisema wako nayo wakitoka. Kwa hivyo tunawaalika kila mmoja arudi KANU. Akina mama na waomba, safari hii mjitokeze, muombe nafasi za uongozi na chama cha KANU.
Laikipia tunataka kuanza massive recruitment ya KANU. Na hiyo massive inaanza hapa Nyahururu na tutatembea katika kila mahali. Hawa watu wamekuja kutuweka nguvu ili tuanze. Kitu ya pili, tunashukuru kwa sababu nchi yetu ina amani. Na tunashukuru, tunasupport Uhuru Kenyatta. Na tunasupport chairman wetu Gideon Moi kwa ushirikiano ya kuleta amani na serikali ya Kenya.
Right, Newswatch takes another short commercial break. We'll be back with business news. Stay with us.
Our Christian life is not just about God always stepping in when you are in trouble. But sometimes you need to go through the valley of the shadow of death, and God will say, angels, stand away. He must go through that. She must go through that. Because out of this would come something greater and more beautiful.
Welcome back. UAP Holdings PLC first half earnings have seen growth in top line while maintaining their focus on profitable growth coupled with improved cash flow generation over the period. However, the group has reported a loss before tax of 57 million shillings compared to a profit of 517 million shillings for the same period in 2019, negatively impacted by the poor performance of the equities market. According to the group CEO, Arthur Ogenga, the business also benefited from a reduced number and severity of claims incidents following the government-imposed lockdowns and curfews in Q2. Its gross written premiums were up double-digit at 11%, driven by core short-term insurance businesses, while the operating expenses were up 32% over H1 2019. This performance was delivered on the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has adversely impacted different sectors of the economies that the group operates in.
Two is optimizing the balance sheet.
The group reported a 57 million Kenya shilling loss against a profit of just over 500 million in a similar period in 2019. However, if you unpack the results, they do reflect that we are continuing to make positive strides with our strategy. And we believe that the actions we have taken in the first half set the business on the right growth trajectory. Top line grew 11% in the first half of 2020. This is after arresting the decline of GWP over the last 3 years. The investment income saw a decline of 34%, mainly due to the performance of the equity markets. We had a fair value loss of just over 770 million, compared to a gain of 400 million in the previous year. We feel confident that the results, although below expectation, are positioning us for future growth of the group.
Meru County Governor Kiraitu Murungi has lauded KCB Foundation's work in creating employment for the youth by leveraging on agriculture as a driver for employment. The governor was speaking after a tour of the first 100 greenhouses for hydroponic farming under the KCB Foundation and Mastercard Foundation, a project in Kibiko, Ngong. Speaking during the visit, Kiraitu said the work is in line with the county's efforts to drive employment through agriculture, adding Meru County is pushing its youth towards venturing into agribusiness.
We're looking to do about 28,000 greenhouses all over the country. And in this, as we go out of the country in January, we begin to partner with county government. And the beauty of using the county government, you know, which is really the best thing that devolution did for us, is to break complex problems into simple. Is to get solutions at the county level.
Most of the employment opportunities, especially in a rural county like mine, will be in agriculture. But more importantly, our youth are now educated and they are calculating the returns. We have seen from one greenhouse here, it is possible for youth after the costs to make about 1 million Kenya shillings. Our youth are also interested in the returns. With the basic support, many of them are going to embrace, this farming. So we want to work with the KCB Foundation to start a huge hydroponic agricultural program in Meru County.
Right, that story brings us to the end of this live broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Have a good night.